Alright, 2013 Honda CRV. I just did timing chains and guides and everything. Also had to put in a new timing cover because the chain wore into the timing cover. And then also had to remove the oil pan to take out all the broken bits of guides in the oil pan. Right. So the other thing is we gotta replace this battery cable because customers got the battery positive cable mod. That's it's already corroding the clamp, as you can see. So didn't want a new battery. Looks like it's a Costco battery. They'll probably get another one from them. You know, Costco is pretty good with getting stuff returned, so they're gonna do that. But we are gonna replace this cable, and then we also got new. Well, we also actually have a battery hold down for this. Let me get you the part and see. So I got the battery positive cable. It also has a bunch of other connectors on it. This one goes to the fuse box. Not only that, we got the battery hold down. And then also the battery hooks, right? That way the battery can be held down. So how I'm gonna go about with replacing this cable, I'm just gonna take this intake manifold out. It's only the plastic part you can remove. So we got these bolts. I still did not put the bolts for the engine mount on this side yet, just because I can just I got the floor jack underneath it still, and I can just lift it up, move it this way or that way to get this intake manifold out if I needed to. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna start by removing the intake. Just take the throttle body off. There's also a bracket underneath the bottom, and then yeah, take the intake manifold bolts off. And then we got the access to the whole entire cable that runs along the underside to the alternator, to the starter, and there's a couple connectors underneath. That's out. You're wondering how often we do timing chains. I just did this one. I did one the other day, and then he's also doing one over there. So just to show you how common it is. Also, it's a CRV too. But this one was really bad. Broken timing guides. And then chain wore into the timing cover. Anyways, let's get this intake manifold out. Some of you might be saying, "Hey, you could do it from underneath." Well, I don't know. I do it this way. That way, I can see the whole entire harness, and then it's less of a struggle trying to get the harness into wherever it needs to go. So if you want to do your starter on your 4th gen CRV, you can actually do it this way too. Once you got the intake manifold off. Or you can take it off from the bottom and then you can get access to the starter down there. But I find that taking the intake manifold on this CRV is a lot easier than struggling to fight at getting at the top bolt back there. So now we can replace that harness that runs along the, you know, here to the alternator, to the top of the starter, and then anything else it goes to. So yeah, getting the intake manifold on these things is not terribly hard. It's actually pretty simple. Maybe like 15 minutes you can get it out. And we gotta disconnect it from the fuse box. There's like a couple 10 mils there. And remove this clamp that's already corroded away. I'll toss that in the garbage, or maybe save it for the customer or whatever. And there's nothing really left of this battery positive cable. You can see not a whole lot left. So yeah, and then just follow your harness along there to your alternator. I think it goes to the AC compressor, and that's pretty much it. So it's not too difficult to replace these battery positive cables. When you see all that corrosion in there, right, goes into the harness inside here, and corrodes it in the inside the wire loom and everything, then yeah, there's no point in trying to save it. So here's something good to know on your 4th gen CRV, because the third gen has the connector up here. So if you ever need to check power for your starter solenoid to there, right, but it's underneath the intake manifold, the one for this 4th gen CRV is right here. So you can check and see if there's power on that connector when you turn it to the start position, and then you can actuate it and send power on this connector to your starter solenoid, just right beside your battery here. A lot of times, if you such as this one, and you notice that there's a lot of corrosion here, it's a good place to check, see if you have a good connection right there. I know I'm replacing the harness, but I can probably break these clips anyways. But it's just a habit. Disconnect this. What is that thing down there? Oh, knock sensor. Get my fingers in there. There we go, that's disconnected. That's basically the majority of the harness already. Take this alternator connector off, or positive cable. Oh, let's move you over here. Oh. AC compressor, clutch connector. Oh, okay, let me get my hands in there. Alright, took some gentle massaging. Now I just gotta roll the condom over the head. And there we go. Alright, everything's back together. New positive cable sub harness assembly is in. This time we actually got a battery hold down now, because it didn't have one and it's bouncing around. It actually hit the corner and it's leaking a little bit there, and it's getting it all over the back of this headlight assembly here. So it's really important to have a battery hold down, not just for safety, but the longevity of your battery, because all that, vibrations, it ruins the cells in the battery from all the bouncing around and shock and stuff like that. So it's good to have a battery hold down. Not only that, in case you get a rollover and something happens, say the battery, you didn't have a battery cover here, it touches these two terminals touches metal, and you get a short, and then you got fuel leaking, you get a fire. So it's also a safety thing. But other than that, that's pretty much it. This customer's going to get a new battery from Costco. I don't know how well Costco warranty is on their battery, but I heard it's, Costco in general, stuff, returns and stuff, is pretty good. You can return a half an eaten pack of asparagus and they'll still give you your full monies back, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, just this corner is leaking a little bit, and it's getting battery acid all over here. Just because it's bouncing around. But anyways, it's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. And I just gotta finish putting the rest of it. I'm pretty sure the silicone has dried since I put the cable in, so I'm gonna get a razor blade, cut off the excess, put in my valve cover.